Hey everyone, I wanted to come to you still today. I know it's not morning, it's afternoon now. The Edmonton real estate market is definitely keeping me busy. And so I had to hop on here this afternoon. We had a listing that we're putting up tomorrow, and it was media day today. So that price point is in the hottest price point. So the hottest price point right now is 350,000 to 450, and namely 350 to 400 is extremely moving quickly. That being said, depending on the neighborhood, so for example, yesterday I was in Rutherford, um, a home over 500, 5 to 550, that's a really hot price point in Rutherford. So depending on the neighborhood you're looking at, things are moving quickly and some of them are just sitting depending on price point. Anything over 7 is moving slower. However, things priced properly still do move quite quickly. So we're going to take a look and see what happened this last week. And last week versus this week, the listings are pretty much the same. But I was just talking to you about sales, right? So what we're seeing on the market is we're seeing more activity. There is rumor that tomorrow the interest rates are probably going to go up again. I'm just saying, Bank of Canada made some allusion to something happening tomorrow. So what does that mean for you as a buyer? It means you better have a rate hold if you don't already have one. And if you are a seller, it means that hopefully some buyers make some decisions, because that last rate hold or rate increase was about a month ago, and they're only going to have 120 days from the time they got their rate hold. So likely they had the rate hold maybe even 30 days before that announcement last month, or the even 60 days before that. So things should be moving. It is summer, but I think that the summer market will keep a little bit busier. If you look at the active listings in and around Edmonton area, in St. Albert, Sherwood Park, and Spruce Grove, they're all quite similar. St. Albert has a little less inventory available to them. In terms of pending sales, in terms of sales being put together, we are seeing a little bit more, 238 versus 195. So just like I said, the market is moving. Take a look at St. Albert, 26 versus 9. Sherwood Park, 23 versus 9 and 17 in Spruce. So the sales are moving, the listings are not. We're going to start moving more into a seller's market if the sales continue at this level. I talked about this last week. Just because we have low inventory, if the sales aren't high, it's not a seller's market. But the buyer demand is increasing. And with tomorrow's potential announcement, it may increase it even more and push us into more of a seller's market. Now, some of the things you don't see on these stats is the new build. We've put a couple new build deals together in the last week and a half, 3 of them to be exact, and they don't show up here unless they're listed on MLS. So it's something that you want to keep in mind as well. We are still seeing some discounting with new builds, but you have to be strategic. You cannot get 20, 30, 40, 50,000 off. You might be able to get 20 actually from some of the builders, but you want to be careful with who you work with. So we were able to secure some good prices for our new build clients. Now, sold in the last 7 days is, take a look at that. That's also increased, not by a lot. So next week, because we've got all these pending sales, you'll see this number increase as well. This is any deals that were under contract already and removed conditions, or maybe they went unconditional. Like I said in the previous broadcast, I have not seen a ton of unconditional deals because we can put conditions in. It actually serves the client better if they can do their due diligence on their inspection, their financing, if they're buying a condo, the condo docs. So if you take a look at last year's sales, we are still not we're not close at all. And last year at this time, it was already slow, quite a bit slower. And we said it was slow last year at 283 sales in 1 week versus 197. So clearly we're slower this year than we are last year. And this is now past the boom in the beginning half of the year. It is very much slower. And that's why it's bringing some of our pricing down. And again, depending on how the demand comes, like, so right now we're seeing more deals come into contract. The demands are going up. So that means prices will likely start to slowly rise if the demand continues to increase. We are seeing multiple offers, and if you're looking in the 350 to 450 price range, be ready to move quickly, be ready to be in a multiple offer. Being in a multiple offer doesn't mean that you're going to pay 10, 20, 30, 50K over list. I didn't even see us go over 30 last year when it was really booming. If you're from Toronto or BC, you are used to prices selling over 100K over, which does not happen here. But the multiple offers, I highly recommend how you win them is make sure it's clean, make sure you got pre-approval letter attached. You'd be surprised at how little that is done. And also make sure that it's clean, like you don't have all these things you're asking for. And also just make sure you know what the market value is, because if they priced it where it needs to be, then don't come in lower. It's not going to happen, especially when you're in multiple offer. Someone is going to see the value and give you more. I am seeing people try to still lowball, and I don't have not seen that work. I've been seeing it work for a couple of years, and it's still not going to work this year. Yes, the market slowed down, but it's starting to pick up, and it's July, which is kind of crazy. We put out our June market stats video this last Friday, so you can take a look at that. And it talks about what's been happening in June and July. I suspect we're going to be quite a bit busier than June. That's just my anticipated guess. I think July is going to be busier than August because July still has an opportunity to get your possession before school starts in September. We're starting to see some possession dates move into September as well. It's still not too bad of a time in terms of weather. It's still warmer in Edmonton, fingers crossed, but usually September is actually still warm. It's the end of October that gets a little cold. So if you have any questions about the real estate market, comment down below and I'd be happy to answer you, or tune in next week and ask me live. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Enjoy that sun outside right now.